Please hang on. Please. This is an official interruption of your local entertainment transmission.
In one moment, a gift most humans never receive in a lifetime.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Now, I'm a very deep person. It's very hard to get to the bottom of who I am.
I know what you mean.
And Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
Talk about being out on a limb. Come on, man.
Really?
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
All right, we are back. Bob Lutz, Jason Duda, a Thursday edition. We'll make some picks coming up. Much harder to get to the bottom of who Jason Duda is, in my opinion.
Very.
We've been trying for years.
No success.
Very hard. But we'll make some progress tomorrow when Dia Duda joins us for 5 questions.
No way. Good luck.
Gonna make it happen. Here is the release from the KSH SAA, which I guess I just presumed, okay, we're going to get a shot clock next year. Everybody's going to do it. Going to be all year long. Hallelujah. Right?
That's what I thought.
The 35-second shot clock has been approved on a trial basis for the 2024-2025 basketball season. All KSHSAA member schools will have the option to utilize the shot clock for all home boys and girls basketball games at the varsity level. The trial will only be during the regular season. If a school chooses to participate in the trial, so you can say, we're not doing this year. So you could theoretically have a game on Tuesday where there's a shot clock and a game on Friday where there isn't.
So if you're the home team, you get to decide if you're going to use the shot.
If a school chooses to participate in the trial, they must do so for all boys and girls varsity games they host. So this brings about this. They've opened a little bit. I get why this was difficult. So even if we do get to a shot clock that is used for all games everywhere, postseason and regular season, what are you going to do about your ninth grade, your sophomore, your JV games?
True.
You're probably not going to have shot clock for those. So those players are going to be. What do you do? What?
I'm still confused.
My head is exploding as we speak.
I'm still confused on. You get the option. So what if a school says we don't want the shot clock?
And many will.
Right, and then so you go to a place that has the shot clock. So you have to use the shot clock?
Here's where the leagues have to step in. I just had a text exchange with good grief, what happened to my voice there? With McPherson coach Kirk Kinnaman. He says, at least it's a start. Hopefully our league will do something to make everyone adopt it. So the leagues will have some say in all this. Long overdue, in my opinion. It excites me to think of new strategies. So all the coaches are going to be on board with this. But even in practice, you're gonna have, not that varsity coaches work with the JV, but the strategies that you develop at the varsity level. If JVs, 10th grade, 9th graders, if they're not using the shot clock, how does that affect things? This is going to be a topic tomorrow. I'm going to get some people on to talk about this because it's kind of crazy.
Well, I'm still confused. I'm still confused. I don't get how you have. So I agree with the fact they got to get the leagues together and make a decision one way or the other. But if a team wants to have the shot clock, then they can have the shot clock. If a team doesn't want to have it, they don't.
Well, you got to get unanimity in your league, and that's what I hope happens. So at small schools where budgets are tight, not that they're not tight at bigger schools, but let's say a 1A school, are they going to find someone to operate a shot clock? I don't know.
Well, they're going to have to.
They're going to have to, but I don't know if they can. That's been one of the issues forever, is personnel to operate a shot clock. and I wouldn't want to do it. That takes a lot of focus.
Yeah,
it doesn't take as much focus to run a scoreboard. You just
when the whistle goes, shut it off.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm writing down tomorrow's show, and I'm reminding myself to try to get someone on. Joanna Chadwick will be on.
Yeah.
I wrote her down, and then in that 3:40 slot, in ink, I'm writing down Dia Duda. In ink.
Good luck.
Hope she's listening.
No, she's working.
Because maybe somebody has it on in there. Well,
No.
I mean, if you're getting your teeth extracted, why wouldn't you want to hear this show? There's very
Probably
strong
because
similarities.
it would make it worse.
There's a lot of similarities.
There is a lot of similarities. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Having a teeth pulled and listening to me. I don't know which is worse. But I'll tell you what, I've written her down in ink.
Well, good luck to you.
And by golly, I'm going to make it happen.
I know I won't be here if she's showing up.
Really?
Oh, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
That shocks me.
Too much. No, that'd be scary for me.
869-1240. If you have a thought, an opinion, whatever you want. Let's go.
Hit us.
This is a good topic. But we're going to get deeper into it tomorrow. Shot clock at high school basketball. How about KU losing after leading by 16 in the first half? We shut it off. Even my wife said, let's watch something else. I couldn't believe it. And so I said, well, you know that KU's going to win this by 30. And
They didn't.
usually I'm kind of right.
Well, you like to think so. But they got an
Central
opportunity.
Florida?
I know.
I mean, Central Florida came to Bramlage over the weekend and just got trounced by K-State. And they looked awful. I mean, they got out to a 7-0 lead, and then KU outscored them by 23 during a stretch to build that 16-point lead. The place was dead. There was no energy. And apparently that caught up to KU.
Must have.
Because
And-
I did not watch the second half.
Well, no, I didn't either. But they had Purdue and Houston losing the night before.
Well, Houston at least lost to Iowa State. Purdue's loss at Nebraska, difficult to explain, but Fred Hoiberg apparently has the Cornhuskers on the right track finally. Nothing compares to KU losing at Central Florida.
Not really.
I mean, those losses by Purdue and Houston were eye-openers. But KU has to be on its game because they only have 4 guys they can count on. And if a couple of them are having bad nights, they're in trouble.
Well, it looks like that's the actual facts. I don't know. I heard that score this morning when I was going into work, and did I hear that right? I did hear that right.
Well, you were dismayed by it, I'm sure.
Well, I just
No, go ahead and
Shocked.
say it. You were dismayed.
that's too big of a word for me.
KU shot. Here's a weird thing. They shot 51% from the floor. They only took 11 free throws. Central Florida took 18. Not that big of a deal. The disparity in the game. KU out rebounded Central Florida. They had 8 more assists than Central Florida. KU had 18 turnovers. And if that's going to happen, which that's shocking that they had 18 turnovers. McCullough had 5, Adams had 4, and DeJuan Harris, the point guard, who has the ball in his hands all the time, had 3. But to have McCullough and Adams combined for 9 turnovers, not good.
That's going to be a problem. Even I know that's going to be a problem.
Strange game.
So, where are they?
I don't know. Like
Where-
I said,
where are they? Where is Kansas right now? We
well,
don't
I
say
mean,
that
you don't
very
want to
often.
press the panic button. They are 13-2. But
But
that
that's
was
not a good loss. That's not a good loss.
No, that's not a good loss. But they'll come home, and they have Oklahoma coming up Saturday. They have Oklahoma State, and they have West Virginia. So the schedule gets a little easier, although Oklahoma's nationally ranked. They have lost a couple games of late that were kind of surprising. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, if you're not going to tell me, then who is, Bob?
I don't know. I still think KU will figure it out. That conference, though, as C.J. Moore said on this show earlier in the week, that conference champion is going to lose 5 conference games. I saw on Twitter today where he updated that to potentially 6. That's how balanced the Big 12 looks.
Well, but the Big 12 has always kind of been like that. I mean, not to that point, but it's always tough. All the games usually seem to be tough.
I'll tell you the game I want to see, and we're going to make a pick on it. The game I want to see this weekend is K-State at Texas Tech, coming up Saturday at 3 o'clock. I'm very intrigued by that because I like Texas Tech. I want to see if K-State can go on the road and assert itself and play well. They won at West Virginia. I don't deem West Virginia to be much of a team, but I like that K-State Texas Tech game on Saturday. I'll be curious to see how you pick it.
Well, I'm not going to give it away now.
No.
I'm not giving it away now.
Of course you're not.
It should be a good game. Let's just leave it at that until 3:25.
At which time Jeff will join us. Are you looking forward to that?
Isn't that exciting? What's he doing today anyway?
You know, the kid just needed a day off once in a while, and I can relate to this. Once in a while, you just want a day off. This is a grind.
I know.
I mean, a guy like me coming in and doing this every day.
Oh, unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And there's that am I better than people argument again, which we've already discounted as malarkey, right?
Malarkey.
So tomorrow it'll be the 3-man booth, even though you're threatening to not be here if your wife is our guest for 5. What are you scared of?
Nothing.
What?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, really? I wonder what questions we would have.
Yeah, that's the problem. What questions will you have?
Well, here's a sample. Okay?
Yeah, this is funny. This is the sample, which is not going to be used. But go ahead.
Now, this won't be used.
I know.
But what attracted you to Jason?
Yeah, here we go.
Because we've spent a lot of time around him, and frankly, we don't see the hook.
Yeah. No, she ain't coming on.
No?
No.
Well, I don't know that you have the final choice in that.
Really? You're probably right.
Now, what Jeff might come up with, now, I don't know, but certainly you could ask her your tried and true question, although you probably already know the answer.
Probably.
What is her favorite restaurant? 12. From what you indicate.
Except I don't know if it is anymore because we went and they changed the menu.
Uh-oh.
Not happy. Haven't been back.
Uh-oh. They try to go upscale?
I don't know, maybe a little bit. They took off my favorite appetizer in the city. We haven't been back.
I don't like hearing that.
So I don't know. I don't think it's not 12. I know that.
I wonder what it is for her.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Well, give us a...
Well, no, because if she ends up on, then she's going to answer the question.
All right, there you go.
I can't give you the answer. That would take away.
Well, during the break, I will reach out to her and see if we can book her for tomorrow at 3:40.
Oh, she's busy.
I would love my wife to be on for 5 questions.
Well, why don't you get Debbie on?
Nah, it's not the time nor the place.
Well, I'd love to get her on, but
not.
It's not the time or place. Okay.
Yeah, it's just not. I'll know the right time. I've been waiting 8 years to make that happen.
8 years.
Yeah, I'll know when it's time.
Okay. If it's been 8 years already.
But trust me, I've been thinking about it.
All right. Fair enough.
It'll be a day when you're not here.
That's what I figured. Thanks a lot. I might have to call in that day.
Although you're going to be on the 3-man again next Friday.
Oh,
So,
that's right.
Maybe, I don't know if my wife would be comfortable coming on.
I don't know. I don't know if my wife would be comfortable coming on.
Well, that's irrelevant. Irrelevant.
That's right, because that's right. Just leave it
There
at
are
that.
different rules
Just leave it at that.
for different people. That's been established.
That it has.
All right. I'm going to reach out to her, hopefully. Now she's at work, so I don't expect her to check her social media while she's busy putting someone under to take their upper bridge out. But we'll see.
Good luck. I'm going to leave it at that. Good luck.
Picks coming up next. Jeff will join us. Max Power, who's right in the thick of this thing, man. We just have a few weeks left, and this thing is close.
I know it is.
I'm starting to lose my grip. I'm not performing well down the stretch.
No, that's where I'm
Yeah, but
coming up to catch you guys.
Well, I'm sorry, but Jeff and Max are doing okay.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
We'll be back.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Here's Jeff Lutz joining us on the hotline to make picks. Jeff, who are these picks brought to us by?
They're brought to you by, and I appreciate you asking me that because that's an important question that we get to answer each and every week. They're brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and an official sports book partner of KFH. Thank you.
All right, I still hold the lead in points, but
Sure.
it's a tenuous one. Jeff is only 5 points behind. Max is right there as well. He is, let's see here, only 8 points behind. Duda's still trailing by 43 points. So we'll
make that up in 2 weeks.
We'll look to you later.
Used to be 70.
Jeff and Max tied at 86 and 73. That's 2 games better than me and 7 games better than Duda. All right, here we go with the picks. We have the wild card round in the NFL. Some of these games are highly intriguing, maybe others not as much so, but we'll all be watching. Pittsburgh on the road to face Buffalo in the AFC. The Buffalo Bills are a 10.5-point favorite over the Mike Tomlin coach Steelers. I start, man, that's a lot of points. That is a lot of points. I'm picking Pittsburgh for 2. Jeff.
Feels like a lot of points for me, too. But then usually, these games are usually blowouts. But it did feel like these opening weekend games, and I like Pittsburgh, though, for 4. They should be able to stay within the 10 and the hook.
When you're not here in person, that doesn't have the same effect.
I'll keep saying
Duda.
it.
Yeah, getting that hook right now is important.
See, that was beautiful. Lovely. Duda?
The weather's going to be terrible. Pittsburgh's going to want to run the ball, keep the ball out of Josh Allen. So I think this stays within 10. I think Buffalo wins the game ultimately. But I got Buffalo for 5.
Buffalo?
Or Pittsburgh, sorry, for 5. Pittsburgh for 5.
The rules state that once you've made a pick.
Well, then give me Buffalo. Because you guys took Pittsburgh, I'll take Buffalo.
No, you get Pittsburgh.
Who you taking?
Here we go.
Max?
It's going to look like I fixed this with all my scribbling for Duda. The Steelers don't have T.J. Watt. Are you going to really trust Mason Rudolph? 10.5's a lot, but Josh Allen's a man, so I'll take the Bills for 3.
All right.
I'll be different.
Somebody had to do it.
Not terrible pick.
No, that makes sense. Green Bay on the road to face the Cowboys with Jordan Love, who I said earlier in the week, much to Jeff's chagrin, I question whether he'd have the wherewithal at this stage of his career to go on the road and win a playoff game. He's getting 7.5 points. Jeff, what do you have?
And as I contended, that has nothing to do with wherewithal. It just matters who plays better on that given day. We'll never know. If he's terrible, it might not be from wherewithal. But I've got Dallas for 6.
Dallas for 6. Duda?
Yeah, I don't know. Dallas at home. I'm not a Dallas fan, but they play good at home. Green Bay going in there. Boy, oh boy. I'm taking Dallas, but only for 3.
Max?
Yeah, Dallas is a different animal at home. They play really well. I don't know if Jordan Love can handle this. So I'll take the Cowboys for 8.
Cowboys for 8. I also believe Dallas to be a relatively easy pick, given the 9 games we're picking. Dallas for 7. So we're all on the Dallas train on that one. The Rams in Detroit to face the Lions, another NFC wildcard game. Detroit giving 3.5. This is one of the most intriguing games of the weekend. Duda.
I think this is a good game. This is a close game. Detroit losing Laporta is going to hurt. The Rams rested most of their guys. I got the Rams because I like the 3.5 here. I got the Rams for 8.
Wow. Max.
Stafford comes home. Goof is against his old team. I like the Lions at home, though. 3.5's not that much, so I'll take the Lions for 6.
Lions for 6. Look at those first 2 picks.
Uh-huh. Where are you going with it?
Well, with Max, he's kicking your ass this year.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, but if you really want to know, this is a tough game. I think the Rams are capable to get to the NFC Championship game. I also think Detroit's capable. The Rams, to me, are playing the best football. I'm picking the Rams for 4. Jeff.
Guess you're not going with Max after all.
Max made more sense.
I mean, for entertainment purposes, this might be my favorite game of the week. Really good storylines. And I've got the Rams for 2.
All right.
Who else do they have besides Cup to catch the ball?
Max on that island again.
Puka
Max
Nacua.
could.
Oh, okay.
Max
he's a good worker.
Shut up, you two. Max could take the lead. Here's Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. The Eagles playing very poor football at the moment. Tampa Bay, nobody's given them any love. The Eagles are a road favorite, 2.5 points. Max, you get the first pick.
Yeah, Mayfield has played well, and I don't understand how the coach of the Eagles, Sirianni, is on the hot seat. But, I like the Eagles in the Florida Sunshine for 7 in this one. I just don't think the Bucs will have enough.
Oh, my goodness. What's a man to do on this game? I like, how do you trust Philadelphia at this point?
I don't know.
How can you?
Do you trust Baker Mayfield?
No, I don't trust that either.
What do you do?
I'm going to pick the Eagles for 5. Jeff.
This is what our good friend and current co-host Jason Duda likes to call a gift. Tampa Bay is not good. And Baker Mayfield has not – he's gotten worse throughout the year, not appreciably worse, but he's not as good as he was to start the year. Philly for 8.
And what about you, Duda?
Have you seen Philadelphia play lately? A.J. Brown kind of got hurt. Jalen Hurts got hurt.
Jalen Hurts is not playing well. Their defense is
awful. They can throw against them. They're in Tampa. I got Tampa for 6.
Good deal. Good job, guys. There's a pickup on Duda.
Thank you, boys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, boys.
Cleveland and Houston in the AFC in what I think is the most intriguing game of the whole wild card round. Houston, even at home, is an underdog to the Browns. People are buying in this defense. Joe Flacco. Oh, my goodness. I'm picking Houston at home for all of 3 points. Jeff.
This very well might be the week that, he's had a couple weeks of rest, or at least a week, and Joe Flacco kind of falls off the edge of a cliff here, but I'm not seeing it. I don't see it. I've got Cleveland, no confidence, 1 point.
Duda?
Cleveland's defense is much better. Houston has Nico Collins right now at wide receiver, and that's it. They should be able to shut them down. Cleveland for 9.
Dumb. Just an idiotic pick. Max.
Oh. Flacco. Guy came off the couch, and they do have a good defense, so I'll stick with the Browns for 5. 2.5's not a whole lot.
Yeah, you're trying to talk yourself into it. That's never a good way to make a pick. Miami and Kansas City. It's going to be cold. Boy, is it going to be cold. We've heard about that all week. The Chiefs are a 4.5-point favorite in Arrowhead. Expected temperatures at kickoff to be in single digits. I guess I started the last one. Jeff?
Yeah, I know this is basically how it works, but I don't have a ton of confidence in some of these games. But by like 6 through 9 points, I have a lot of confidence. And Miami's not going to hang with the Chiefs in that weather. It's just not going to happen. They're banged up. Kansas City for 7.
What about you, Duda?
I'm not sure about this one. I'm really not sure. Because Kansas City can't score, but weather's going to be awful. Miami doesn't look that good. They're going to be going into frigid temperatures. I don't know what to do with this game. I just not sure. So when I'm not sure, I take the points. I'll take Miami for 4.
Not sure, but you're going 4. Makes no sense. Max, you're next.
Dolphins can run it. I hope Waddle plays, and they do have Tyreek. So I'll take the Dolphins. I do it for 4.
Again, Max never takes the Chiefs.
True. True.
At least I stick to it.
What does that mean?
That was a shot at you, I think.
No, I just stick to it. I don't change.
You're for Tommy. You don't want him threatened.
There
City.
is no threat to him. Oh, my God.
Kansas City is my pick here because they're at home, because it's really, really cold weather. I don't see Miami wanting anything to do with this one.
I could see that.
I think they're ready to go home.
I could see it.
Let's get together in the summer, boys. We'll see you in July. Kansas City for 9.
And this is on stream only, right? This is the one that's streaming, right?
Yes. Peacock Network. Now let's delve into some college basketball. We're going to get all of our big 3, all playing interesting games this weekend. We start with Memphis and the Shockers coming up Sunday at Koch Arena. I haven't seen the official line. I've made Memphis a 4.5-point favorite at Koch Arena. We start with, let's see here. We start with Max on this one, right? Or Duda.
Memphis is obviously the better team here. Wichita State has not been playing well. I got to take Memphis with covering the 4.5 or 7.
Man, have you watched them lately? They've almost got knocked off at home by SMU and Texas San Antonio. Max.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going Memphis for 9.
Man.
I had to use my 9 somewhere.
That doesn't make... Those picks make no sense the way Memphis is playing right now. I got to pick... Fool Alert on Max. Max just played Fool Alert on himself.
He did. But he's smarter than that. He knows. He did well.
This is a hard game. I don't see how you have this much confidence in this game. The Shockers, while having not played that well, I'm going to go Memphis, but for only 1. That game worries me. Jeff.
Good grief. I don't know what you're thinking. I get that Memphis hasn't been playing well, but it doesn't really matter how Memphis is playing when they come into Wichita or host the Shockers. They've had their number for several years. Terrible line. Memphis for 9. That's my little rhyme.
What do you
today.
mean a terrible line? That's about what the line will be.
It'll be more than that.
You had 9, 9,
I don't
and
think
7.
so. Huh?
You had 9, 9, and 7 for the other people's picks besides yours. That means it's not a good line.
You know what? I almost said something that the FCC could have had fun with. Oklahoma in Lawrence to face the Jayhawks. I've made Kansas coming off an embarrassing loss to Central Florida. I made them an 8.5-point favorite against a ranked team. Max.
Yeah, they struggled against Florida. I'm going to take OU for 2.
I'm taking Kansas in this one because I think this is a game they bounce back in. Bill Self will have read the riot act. I like Kansas for 8. Jeff.
Too many points for me, I think. I've got Oklahoma for 3.
Boy, I'm running away with this thing after this week. Duda?
Yeah, I'm with the other two. I just think it's too many points right
Good.
now. And look
Music
what's
to
going
my ears.
on. I mean, who knows? They could go in and spank them, but I don't have any confidence in this one either. So I got OU for 2.
Ah, that's wonderful. And finally, Kansas State in Lubbock to face the Red Raiders. 6.5 points I'm giving Kansas State in this one. And I'll start out. I'm going to pick Texas Tech. I like them to do well in this one. And I've got them for 6. Jeff.
I'm pretty much right there with you. Texas Tech 4-5.
Duda.
Yeah, I'm zero confidence in this, but I'll take Texas Tech for 1.
And what about you, Max?
Scary when I'm picking the same numbers as Duda. Yeah, I get Texas Tech for 1 also.
Yeah, you and Duda are in sync.
OU?
On 6 of the 9 games. I'm in sync with Duda on only 5, and Jeff is in sync with Duda, and that's kind of how you tell what kind of week you're going to have is if you're in sync with Duda. Jeff has in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the same picks.
Wow. Can I change a few of those around?
Oh, you're finally on board. You figured it out.
Well, Jeff falls off this week. This will turn out being a really good year for me, or a good week for me, no doubt.
I don't know about that.
All right, Jeff, we'll see you tomorrow for the 3-man booth.
Later.
What a uninspired later.
He's happy to be here.
Yeah, what's sickening.
So happy.
Have some excitement. Did you ever think you'd see a day where Bill Belichick, arguably the greatest coach in NFL history, and Nick Saban, not so arguably, in my opinion, the greatest coach in college football history, decided they were stepping down from their posts on the same day?
No.
Saban retiring, Belichick likely to coach again, although I hope it goes well for him. I think he wants to coach. I think he still has a fire, I think. But I know he probably wants to get that all-time wins record. And the popular theory is that he's going to go to Atlanta. I don't know if that how much water that holds. But we also had Pete Carroll leaving the Seattle Seahawks yesterday. I wouldn't take that Alabama job for all the money in the world.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know who they're going to get to take that. There's somebody.
Well, somebody's going to jump
Dan
at
Lanning said no.
Somebody will jump at it because it's Alabama, but I don't know if following Saban in there isn't going to be easy. Now, Belichick going to Atlanta, considering how weak that division is, I could see that. Because you throw him in the mix there, and all of a sudden, you know, Atlanta was a decent team.
Yeah, they got some things to build them, but they got an owner that, man,
Yeah, well, there's the other problem, right? So does he want to go and deal with that? Because he's in his 70s as well. Like, you know, if he goes somewhere, I'm thinking he's going to say, no, this is the way it's going to be, and that's the way.
And he has so much capital built up in New England because he won. Hadn't won lately, but he won. So wherever he goes, he's not going to get away with going to press conferences and mumbling.
You don't think so? Yeah, he will.
No, I don't
Bill
think
Belichick.
so.
Yeah, he will.
I think it'll be much tougher for him in whatever market he goes to. He's got to be humbled a little bit, right? This was one of the worst teams in the league this year, the New England Patriots.
It was.
I don't know. I think if I was Bill Belichick, I'd say, I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to be a little more vivacious.
Don't you think after the Mac Jones experiment, he's not going to really want to go somewhere with a young quarterback?
I don't know. Where can you go?
That's my thought, but they're all
maybe
young
the Chargers.
Now. The Chargers it might be the Chargers.
They got a high draft pick. They could potentially take Harrison out of Ohio State.
They got
team him with Justin Herbert. Maybe he goes to the Chargers, but nobody cares about the Chargers. Not even in L.A.
Maybe that's perfect for him.
Maybe.
So when he gets up to the mic, no one's there anyway, so he doesn't have to say anything.
Well,
he's going to have an offense. He's got good wide receivers that'll be back. He's got a good quarterback. We know he's a defensive coach, so he can fix that a little bit. I see the Chargers, if he's going to a team that he wants to
It'll
be able
interesting.
to, I think that would be it. I don't think he wants to go to Atlanta with Desmond Ridder. I really don't. But who knows with these guys? I think he should just be done.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
And I'm
it might not, but I mean,
I'm very curious to see what Alabama does, because that job is, to me, the most difficult job anywhere in any sport, because of the bar that's been set. Remember the run this guy's had there.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And when they only make it to the semifinals, it's a disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, a big disappointment. And they haven't won a national championship in a little bit. Georgia's kind of overtaken Alabama. Now, Alabama did get them in the SEC championship game, but Georgia has the I think we all agree if Georgia had been in the playoff, they likely would have won it.
I would agree.
So Georgia's kind of the kingpin. Then you have Texas and Oklahoma moving in next year. Man.
It's not going to be an easy place to coach.
No.
And who do you get? Like, there's no big names that are going to leave their schools to go to Alabama, right? Who's going to leave?
They're going to have to throw a ton of money at somebody and hope. The Norvell at Florida State, to me, makes some sense. He's upset with the world right now that they went unbeaten and couldn't get to the playoff. They're in kind of a state of limbo. I think he'd love to be in the SEC. Is he ready to take on Alabama? If I had to guess right now, he would be the guy that I would say would probably be the guy. If of all the coaches that have been mentioned for this, now Dan Lanning from Oregon would have made great sense, but he doesn't want anything to do with it. So Mike Norvell from Florida State is my pick. Lane Kiffin, of course, is mentioned for every opening,
right?
Every high profile.
Well, and we know he'd take it because he'd just take it. So that could be another one. But I don't know what. You're exactly right. Going in there after Saban and the success that program's had.
Dabo Swinney at Clemson, they've hit some hard. Nobody wants to be in that ACC right now. Nobody knows what that conference is doing.
True.
The SEC is the place to be. I could see Dabo dabbing
his way to Alabama.
I could see it.
I don't know. I think he's probably one.
Here's the thing.
I don't know. If I was him, I'd stay in Clemson. But
with the transfer portal now, you better get on it because you got to try to keep players.
Well, they got to hire somebody pretty quick.
That's what I mean.
This can't go
There's
on
no
for
more.
2 weeks.
We'll wait a month.
You can't do that anymore.
You got to get on it. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. It's been Lutz and Duda. Tomorrow, the 3-man booth, which will include Jeff Lutz, We'll see you then.